That to me was one of my proudest moments as a CEO, because that told me that I think we're getting there. However, before we even got involved in that, I had been very adamant in establishing a solid, literally a safety culture. All right. And I remember the inspector who was doing the audit to approve us for this ATO exemption came into my office, and I had worked with him in the past, so I knew him. Anyway, he comes into my office and he says, Mike, he said, we got to talk. And he closes the door to my office. And having been a TC inspector, that's not a good thing. All right. When someone walks in like that and says, we need to talk, and they're halfway through an audit, what is going on? Right. And he sat down and he burst out laughing. And you could see the look on my face probably. And I said, okay, what's going on? He said, you're not going to believe this. Anyway, what had happened was he was asking people what they would do or how the SMS program worked. Okay. And he was asking some students and some instructors, and half of them didn't even know what an SMS was. Like they said, well, what are you talking? I don't know what you're talking about. So he went to see one of our senior people who was he says, how come these people don't even know what an SMS is, let alone explain? They should know how it works. He said, well, how are you asking the question? And he said, explain to me your SMS. He said, no, that's not the question. Ask them what they would do if they saw something that they felt was dangerous. Oh, so he went back and he asked them, and sure enough, they gave him literally great detail on how, well, if it's a hazard, this is how I report it. This goes to the safety officer who now does blah. And they literally took him through the process. All right. But they didn't know it was an SMS. Oh, that's just the way we do things.
Right.
That to me was one of my proudest moments as a CEO, because that told me that I think we're getting there. We're not there yet. All right. But we're slowly starting to get there. All right. Where people, this is no longer some program on a shelf. All right. And I've seen that, unfortunately. Companies go out and invest significant amounts of money to literally buy a program or a binder they stick on the shelf, and they say, well, we got a safety program. Yeah, but are you using it? Right? Is it paying for itself? Because if it's not paying for itself, you're wasting your money. All right.